Welcome in, welcome in. Quick hitters, G.Mo Short Crew. NFL Week 1, almost complete. But the highlight game that we have, Houston Texans versus the LA Rams. One thing we cannot say, they didn't have their chance. They had their chances to win this game. And you look at the score, 9-14. 9-14. There are a lot of concerns. One concern is they looking a little like last year. The same. Nothing's changed. Points are hard to come by. Why is that? I don't want to hear about who's missing. Yeah, I know Joe Mixon's not there. I know Braxton Berrios, he's not there. Few key guys. But this offense is still potent. They still should be moving the ball. They shouldn't just be kicking field goals. They should be punching it in for touchdowns. There's a lot of concerns. Dead ball penalties. Do that sound familiar from last season? As far as the offensive line holding up, I give them a C+. A C+. C.J. Stroud had to shuffle his feet a little too much to get out of the way. But I will tell you this, C.J. Stroud has got to play better. Did he have a bad game? No, he didn't have a bad game. He didn't have a good game either. He basically was emergency quarterback. Put a Band-Aid on it. Stop some of the bleeding. But they needed a full patch-up job in this game. And it's crazy to me because the Rams, right? Rams they don't have no fantastic great defense. They got a good pass rush. But secondary, not so well. Don't have all pro linebackers running around making plays. So why is this offense struggling to move the ball, to score touchdowns, settling for field goals, continuously doing 3 and outs? They can't figure that out. This game right here against the Rams, the place that the Texans are trying to go, you can't lose games like this. I'm looking at the Rams. I'm like, this wasn't just like a defensive battle where they just couldn't score points. They shot themselves in the foot, lack of discipline, not knowing how to improvise when plays are breaking down on the run. That's why I say C.J. Stroud has to play a lot better. This is it for him. This year, he has to show something. He can't patty cake his way through this season. Not this year. You got the LA Rams mixing a little old with the young. Got some veteran presence for the quarterback position, wide receiver position. Stingley was getting the business from Devontae Adams. Tough cover for anybody. Stingley did his best. And Stingley looked like he had a little stinger early in this ball game. Luckily, he was able to recover because you lose that guy, shit, the dam's going to break. You're really in trouble. So when Devontae Adams catches balls, gets a lot of yardage, you just shake your head and go back to the huddle. You tried your best. He's an all-pro great. Not many people can hang with him. Stingley did a pretty damn good job. I mean, he kept him on 100. But somebody else named Puka Nacua tore it up. Tore it up. What he had, 10 catches for 130 yards? And then you look across him for the wide receiver for the Texans and you say, what happened to Nico Collins? 5 targets, right? He got 3 catches for 25 yards. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say they wasn't rotating Nico Collins, they wasn't covering him up, knowing he's a focal point of the offense. Of course they're going to roll to him. That's their job, to take him away. But the offense wasn't aggressive enough, at least trying to get him the ball. Show us that he can cover him. Nico Collins is the best thing you got on offense right now with Joe Mixon out. So you have to, I don't want to say force the ball to him, but you got to move him around, give him some quick wide receiver screen throws. You can give him some quick passes to get him involved, early, middle, and late. You don't have to just throw down the football field to try to get him the ball. That might be Nick Cadi's job, right? But we're not going to say nothing about Nick Caley right now. This is only week 1. This is only game 1, okay, against the Rams. We have all season to criticize Nick Caley if that's the case. But this offense has to get on schedule. Dead ball penalties, mental lapses. It's the same thing as last year so far in this week 1. And I heard C.J. Stroud at the press conference talking about, well, they gave us some exotic looks that we weren't prepared for. Exotic looks? Exotic looks that he wasn't prepared for. Look, man, if you could spell exotic looks with 3 letters, it probably would be NFL. You're going to get exotic looks next week, the rest of the season. That's what defenses do in the NFL, C.J. Stroud. I don't like C.J. Stroud's press conferences. They don't give you anything. They still, they're dull, more of trying to make excuses more than anything, or we're going to get better next game. You know, he always has this kind of lazy kind of approach, and it just don't give you anything. And saying they threw something exotic, look, I didn't pick the Texans this week. And this is the reason why. Because of things like this I expected throughout this game. Not being disciplined, not being able to continuously move the ball to get touchdowns instead of 3 points, locating these great receivers that the Rams have, covering them up. Defense cannot get off the field on key third downs. One of them cost them the game. It was the last play. You stop that, you give yourself a chance. Big hit by Al-Shaair. Big hit, knocking that ball out, giving the Texans another chance at it to go down and win the football game. And that was the moment right there for C.J. Stroud to march this team down the football field and win this game in fashion. But an outstanding, do you hear me? An outstanding defensive play by the Rams linebacker. What's his name? Landman, last name Landman or something like that. But what's so killing about that play is they said that this guy does this in practice all the time, and he said he was going to get him one, a punch out in this game. And he goes out there and executes it. Hey, man, you can't beat that. Hey, when you beat like that, you just beat. That was an outstanding play by him. Forget about the tackle. Get the football back for your team. That was an outstanding punch. Clean. Can't do nothing about that but tip your hat to him. But after all that, you still gave yourself a chance. But you just can't get off the football field when it matters the most. So, yeah, this game here was very frustrating. Number one, for the offense only putting up 9 points. Texas offense is a hell of a lot better than that. Just for now, I don't care how good a defense is. It could be the old Ray Lewis defense. You could score more than 9 points. And the Rams defense ain't like that. They made some key plays when they needed to make some key plays. C.J. Stroud was off schedule a little bit, but he has to make off-schedule plays. Every time they get a little groove going, dead ball penalty or something, false start, illegal motion. But they got fortunate on a couple of flags as well from the Rams. Roughing the passer, couple of holding calls in the secondary. So this game was nip and tuck, all right? It was up for grabs. But like I keep stating, if the Texans want to get to where they want to go, they can't lose a game like this. The Rams was not sharp. They weren't sharp. You could get them. You could get them. But not having no running game, putting it all on C.J. Stroud, you will end up in this situation. And the Rams knew it when they came in. They weren't going to respect that run. You saw what they were doing. They was eating it up. Every time they hand off the ball, they was stuffing it. They said, we're going to make C.J. Stroud beat us. And we're going to pierce our ears back and we're going to put pressure on him, cause him to make quick decisions. They like their chances with that. So C.J. Stroud, 19 for 27, 188 yards, 7 on average, and a pick. Like I say, he didn't play bad, but he didn't play good either. He was an emergency Band-Aid quarterback in this game, and he has to be better for the rest of the season. Not just this game, for the rest of the season. Nick Chubb, close to the end, he started giving some hard yards. 13 carries for 60 yards for Nick Chubb. That's good for Nick Chubb. The only problem is they didn't give him the ball enough. 13 carries for 60 yards. He was over 4 yards a carry. The only problem is early they was getting stuffed. By the time he really got it going, Houston trying to get down there and score some points. You know, they're in rush mode now. So they got to abandon the run a little bit. And they got themselves in that kind of funk. But Nick Chubb, he finished strong. Not Joe Mixon, but it was serviceable. But other than that, no running game at all. Jaden Higgins came in. He made a play or two. Good for the rookie there. He looked like he could be promising. We might could depend on him a little bit. Xavier Hutchinson, same thing. He came in and played well. Dalton Schultz, he caught some good balls. Justin Watson, besides that one he dropped, he came back and caught him too. Nico Collins, like we said before, he has to get targeted more. There's no defense that should be able to eliminate him to getting 3 catches for 25 yards. You can move him around the offense. Put him in slot, put him in the backfield. You have to give him the touches. That's Nick Caley's job. That's his expertise. He's supposed to be some kind of wizard. He's trying to mentor after Sean McVay. Hey, show us something. Cade Stover caught him a few. You know, it was in spots. They were making these little spark plays in spots, but it was dink and dunk. That's the problem. That's why I say he's an emergency quarterback in this game, because he was dinking and he was dunking. Nothing really aggressive down the field for these Houston Texans. Nothing. And then taking these shots. And what I always say, what's my motto when it comes to when you have a great wide receiver, especially 6'3", 6'4" wide receiver? You got to give him a jump ball at least once each quarter. You have to air it out. Just say, go get it. Have to air it out. I don't care if he has 2, 3 people on him. You still throw the ball up, because it does a lot of things. Keeps the defense on their heels. Let them know that you will take that shot. Could be a pass interference. He could actually catch the ball. Could be a touchdown. Could be blown coverage. Texans just don't give themselves real shots in the game to win it, to take the lid off. Sometimes you got to go against the grain. Sometimes you got to go out of the box to get to where you want to get to. Instead of letting the defense wall you in, they'll force you to dink and dunk all game long. So you done wasted all the clock, time possession to get down there and turn it over or end up with a field goal. Because that's what teams want you to do. They want you to milk that clock away and come away with a little or nothing. Every time. Either a turnover or a field goal after a 14-play drive. That's what they want you to do. But they can come back and Then when you get it, slow drag. Because the more plays that you have on offense, more chances the defense can take the ball away. A fumble, an interception, penalties. That's why you got to be sharp. And the Texans hasn't been sharp. leading back to last season. There's no more excuses for the Texans. It's not. And I just knew that they would have trouble in this game with a veteran squad. I call them, they got some young guys on their team, but I call them a veteran squad because they got veterans in the key positions on this football team. And most of all is the head coach and the quarterback. Matthew Stafford, 21 for 29, 245 yards, 8.4 on average, one touchdown. Good game by Matthew Stafford. Hey, business as usual, a day at the office for Matthew Stafford. And he could put in more work than that. He really could. But the Texans, one thing the Texans do have is defense. You only allowed them 14 points. That's why I say this defense held them to 14 points. You would think the Texans offense can cover that, right? You would think they could cover it. If you're missing Joe Mixon that much, and that rhymes too, you're going to have more problems than you believe. No, you ain't waiting for week 4. You better have your mind right that he ain't coming back and figure it out. Because to me, they have enough running backs by committee to at least get the job done. And if Nick Chubb continues to run like he's running, getting his motor revved up, 13 for 60, 4.6 on average, that's what we want to see from him. And hope he can hold up and be durable. You have something there. But yeah, it should be concern. Even in week 1 for the Houston Texans, it should be concern. Puka Nacua, 10 catches, 130 yards, 13 on average. He had 11 targets. So Puka Nacua, with an outstanding Texans defense, can get 10 catches for 130 yards. But on the flip side, you got Nico Collins with 3 catches at 25 yards, 5 targets. Make that make sense. Rams have secondary issues. They have linebacker issues. They can pressure the pass. They're good at that. But they're not good enough to keep you at 9 points. That is a Texans issue. How was the offensive line? They were good enough. I would say that. They were good enough. I've seen worse. Trust me, I've seen worse. But they were good enough in this game to win the game. Texans weren't taking no shots down the field anyway. They want to turn this into a running back and tight end game. Dink and dunk. So they didn't deserve to win. They didn't deserve to win this game. They didn't fight hard for it. They were caught in the lights. They didn't really come ready to play. They didn't come ready to play. Will they learn from this? We hope so. We hope so. You can't let many of these get by. And look, the Rams are not chopped liver. They could have easily got Texans on their game. They could have blowed them out if they were really on their game. That's what's frustrating. So hopefully better next week. We'll see. They easily could fall into an 0-2 hole. What they playing the Bucks? You already know how that is. Playing the Buccaneers. Houston Texans could easily be 0-2 to start this season. Think about that. That could be very scary. Very scary. You do not want to go down 0-2 in the NFL. That's a hell of a hole to dig yourself out of. We already covered this one, the Cowboys and the Eagles. The Eagles got the Cowboys 24-20. We already done that one. Chargers and Chiefs 27-21. The upset. that I was calling for. I got it. I got it. I said the Chiefs are known for dropping opening games, okay, to start the week off. Last few seasons, they started off slow. Chargers got them. Chargers ain't just get them. Chargers really outplayed them. They went to go get that one, and they got it. Buccaneers and Falcons. I lost that one. That's one of the ones I lost. Buccaneers beat them 23-20. Thought the Falcons would get them at home, but Buccaneers, I figured, they gonna come in. They coming off of last season, rocking and rolling. I gotta see what Mayfield's gonna do. Is he gonna backdoor all of this? I just can't believe this guy playing that well. I can't. But you match him with their little defense and big receiver, so hey, running game. Yeah, they can cause some noise. Steelers and Jets. What a game. What a game. Steelers pulled it out 34-32, and I'm talking about a knockout drag out, back and forth, back and forth. That last play, though, did y'all see Justin Fields? The man could have ran for the first down. He gonna throw that little side pass at the last minute, got his man set up for the boom. Ball squirts out, game over. Justin Fields, you've been running all game. You got the yellow stripe right in front of you. Couple of more steps, first down. New set of downs. But I understand things happen so fast. You saw with the flash of your eye and, thought you could get it to him. He was going to run for an easy first down, not knowing that Ramsey was lurking. He was lurking. Hell of a hit by Ramsey in that game. Bengals and Browns. Are the fans disgruntled? Are they causing an uproar? 17-16. Bengals got the Browns. Joe Flacco with his picks. That's gonna cause some craziness around Cleveland, Ohio. You hear me? We're gonna find out though, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Joe Flacco, send him out there again next week. Browns can't wait too long. All right? The guy's a veteran. Let him come back next week. You see the same of this stuff going on, or he throws a pick or two in the next game, it's time to bring on Dylan Gabriel. They're going to give him a shot. I know people want Shadur to step in. That's not realistic when they got Shadur as a third string. Gabriel comes in. Let's see how he does well. Not expecting Shadur to play this season. But if Gabriel stinks up so bad, so bad, why they have no choice? So you're saying there's a chance. There's a chance. Dolphins and Colts. Are the Dolphins the new misfits? I'm just saying. I think the coach lost their football team. All for one, one for all. Right? No enthusiasm. They're just going out there playing for themselves. They're going to get Tagovailoa out there hurt again. They don't watch it. Don't seem like the line's holding to begin with. Panthers and Jaguars. Jaguars beat the Panthers 26-10. That was expected. Raiders and Patriots. Raiders got the Patriots 20-13. That was expected. Cardinals and Saints. Cardinals beat the Saints 20-13. That was the plan. Titans and Broncos. Broncos beat the Titans 20-12. That also was the plan. 49ers beating the Seahawks 17-13. Fell right into it. Texans and Rams. Hate to say, but that came on schedule as planned. Did I want it to happen? No, I didn't want it to happen. Wanted the Texans to win. Always want the Texans to win, but hey, man, got to come with a better game. You can't patch this stuff up each year. All right? And if you got to be fully healthy to win ball games, what a hell of a season we're in for. Hell of a season we're in for. But the Rams got them 14-9. Lions and Packers. Packers came through. Packers are always tough at home. Always tough at home. Packers beat them 27-13. The Lions. That's the scoreboard, folks. Got the Vikings and the Bears for Monday Night Football. Remember, I picked the Bears to pull that game out, just as well as I picked the Bills to pull it out. So, the overall picture of things, Houston Texans got to be better. Disappointed in the performance in this game. They shot themselves in the foot. They didn't come with the right attitude, the mental toughness to win this game. Their offense is looked at as high-powered. All right? Joe Mixon's out. We know that. C.J. Stroud has to step up as a leader. Get this team in their sets. Get the ball in your playmaker's hands. Make sure he gets the ball in his hands, even with coverage. Talk to Nick Caley. Let's move him around that line of scrimmage. We need to get him some quick balls. He has to be involved for us to do anything. All right? Mental lapses on defense. As good as the defense is, they couldn't get off the field on a lot of these third down plays. You can't do that. And the main one cost you the game. Just can't do it. Get off the football field. That's pretty much the story. They had their chances. They had their chances to win this game, not only win it, but blow the Rams out. Yes, they had opportunities to blow the Rams out. The Texans are good enough to blow the Rams out. But when you come in not ready, old habits coming back from last season that we were hoping that were gone. Just a bad situation. Bad situation. But it's week one. That's a good thing about it. You have time to rewrite a wrong. You got time to do it. Slouchy Sunday. Y'all enjoy yourselves. Appreciate it. Thanks for y'all time. G.S.Q.H, Goodymo Sports Quick Hits, and we up out of here. Be safe. Peace.